Okay, let's get it on. 1 point the margin. Final term underway. Sandilands and Hudson.
Geez, Lake on Main's an interesting one.
Yep.
Little slap out by Sandilands to Bohr. Mundy runs to 50. Drives it goalward. Phenomenal start.
Magnificent start there. Just not sure whether they'll have a sweeper at all. And we'll have a look at the on-ballers here. I think young Wallace is getting blocked there from Pavlich. He's just caught in traffic. There goes Mundy getting goal side, and either got to win the ball or play defensive footy. And Mundy just ran on and kicked a magnificent leader's goal. Terrific handball, great shepherd, great finish.
Well, that's the toughest welcome to football we've ever seen for the kid, Mitch Wallace. Been on 5 seconds, his man kicks a goal. Okay. Can he rise to the occasion? Fremantle by 7 points. They've thrown it in the air, strangely enough. And another takeaway to Mundy on Wallace. To half forward, Morris.
Read the ball beautifully tonight, Morris.
Griffin the target. Fist from Robertson, but Griffin takes him on.
Speed.
Tucked up against the line, just gets the kick away in time. Johnson attacks it, but leaves it behind. Higgins toes it to Boyd. He leaves it behind. Duffield, strange handball, missed the target. Hard in was Main, went in hard low. Wallace lays a tackle. That'll give him some confidence.
It will. Let's get involved in the game.
What an awesome play by Griffin, though. He just had a half-metre and he backed himself in. Little fumble brought his opponent back into play, but he still gets his kick away.
Sandilands with the thumb. Main, another fumble.
He's got taken high.
Lucky. Hudson rides him. He's sitting on his back and then complaining about the free.
It was a terrific second effort from Hudson, but just overzealous.
Hudson up the ground and his man dangerous.
Sandlin got an arm knock there, no free. Yes, did get a free, no. Umpire's allowed it to go. Fife hands it up, Ballantyne, barely seen it. Pitt, fresh man on, Van Berlo, he's been a star! 3 goals, Jay Van Berlo.
Just a free kick there from Hudson. He's just seeing Sandlands. Probably could have been a free kick, but doesn't worry. Mark Harvey won't be too worried about it. And you just see here, great effort from Fife. Have a look at the strength to stand up in the tackle. Keep the ball alive there with Ballantyne, and out the back Van Berlo. Just spectating there, one of the Bulldog defenders. You're either going to win the ball or make an impact. If your direct opponent gets out the back, you'd want to win the ball.
Nice handball from Jaden Pitt. Subbed on.
And what have the Bulldogs got now?
Well, they've got Kearney in the middle.
Yeah.
Boys, you mentioned before, up until half-time, Nat 5 didn't have a big influence, but in the second half, he certainly turned it around. 11 possessions.
Sandlands to Pavlich to Mundy. It's like an avenue of honour. The big stars to Pitt. He sends it long. Crowley down there. Couldn't take the mark. Markovic can take it out.
Mundy's had a start in his third quarter. He's had the 3 disposals, 2 clearances already.
And their big guns starting to fire Fremantle. 13 points the margin. Flick down. Main knocks it on. Ballantyne just hasn't been his night. Main gives it up. Snap around the body. McPhee way wide.
A little bit more time than he thought there, McPhee.
If you've joined us late, this is the biggest lead that Fremantle has had for the night.
Well, they haven't had the football in this term. The Dogs have had 3 kicks, and that's 3 kicks to 15. Or 3 possessions to 15.
Unfortunately, 2 of those kicks have gone straight to Freo.
Murphy to Gilby. Floating across from the side, unable to take the mark was Ibbotson. Pavlich lays a tackle. It was untidy and a free. Boyd sits one up high. That's a free. Lower through Hill out of it. No free. Okay.
Well, good news for the body. The umpire was right there, but where they're getting smacked the Bullies, 5 clearances to Freo, 0 to the Bulldogs. Not getting their hands on the ball at all at the moment, the Bulldogs.
Caught to go.
Got a 2-on-1 here. They're off and running.
Yeah, that was the outlet, Grover. And now Robertson bangs a long ball in the Fife direction. Good hands. And takes off. McPhee back to Fife. Pumps one long. Over Crowley's head. Markovic got a big decision to make here. Keeps it in. Morris, equally big decision, and makes a poor one for the first time tonight. That's almost on the full. It was off the knee of Murphy, and he got away with it because of that.
How good was a tackle from Crowley?
If it was the mark of Fife. Hasn't had a great night, Fife, but it was an awesome grab.
It's not out on the full unless it comes from below the knee. Main tried to break free, lays a tackle. Hudson, Boyd, hacks it free. Grant hasn't had a huge night at the office, still hasn't. And applause ring around Patersons Stadium again. I can sense a big win here, Fremantle's fans. Bulldogs have already failed their first big test this year. That was against Essendon. Wallace, the first touch in footy. Got it toward to Higgins, to Boyd. Picking the target. McFarlane goes back.
Just down on a little bit of height, obviously, with Williams off the ground.
Well, Barry Hall's off the ground as well, Gerard. That's why Picken was contesting the ball with McFarlane.
Grover and Lower share it around. No one comes at them. McFarlane, half back. Chips it. Main starting to rise as well. Bulldogs have had some easy kills this year. Brisbane and the Gold Coast, their only wins, and a loss to Essendon.
At the back.
Big fly, McPhee. Can't take the mark. Lake had it, lost it, lays a tackle. Stack, Lake, Higgins, the scrambling kick. Ballantyne just on, fresh, keeps it in, slips. Look away, handball. Hibbertson, dragged and thrown after he handed it. Liberatore, Higgins, precise kill.
Pretty liberal on the sling there.
And the crowd agree with you, Gerald.
Well, you wouldn't write the Dogs off yet because the whole of this match has seen momentum shifts. We saw the Bulldogs out to 14 points.
Van Berlo's been superb. Fantastic fist. Down to the fresh man pit. Here was the sub. He's just come on. Murphy forced the fist out of play.
Barry Hall's off the ground. Now, I've been looking at taking Grant. Terrific fist here from Van Berlo. There's Barry Hall back on the ground.
Sandlands and Hudson. Sandlands with the reach. Knocks it down, but to Gilby. Again, they get the palm down, but not the clearance. Hall just on. McFarlane takes him on, and Hall overruns it by about 10 metres. Low, that was horrendous. Cooney couldn't trap it.
Numbers everywhere for
and Johnson goes.
Danger here, this will go through.
Pavlich, De Boer, well, he wanted to slap it on, missed it completely. It might come off. Short, Palmer, knocked away. Arm slap free, McPhee, play on advantage. And Van Berlo for number 4. Where's he been?
Oh, it's just... Well, Barry Hall just come on the ground, and this is what Rodney Eade didn't want. One thing getting beaten, then allowing McFarlane to turn in the corridor, which opened up the middle of the ground. Game over. In that passage of play there, it's okay getting turned, but he had to keep McFarlane to the boundary line.
He's had an enormous start of the year, McFarlane. I guess the question was put to him with the absence of Tarrant. Could he hold down the spot? As he's done before, it's in great form.
Six career goals. It is 25 games before tonight, Jay Van Berlo. He's now got 4 for the night. Biggest lead of the game to either side, 20 points. What have the Dogs got left? A free kick, holding free, and it's going to Higgins.
You held his arm, straight to him, go through.
Been solid all night, Grover. Looking up the screen in disbelief at the moment. Definitely free kick. Good decision.
Even the crowd roar their approval. Sean Higgins. with momentum on his boot. From 50. And he kicks the goal to kick the door down. Still an opening.
Well, he's had an influence in this quarter, Sean Higgins, most particularly there with that goal, but he's had the ball 5 times, which is a significantly greater contribution per minute than he's made previously in this match. And whilst we're on stats, Danny, mail coming through from Champion Data, Matthew Boyd, 35 possessions to three-quarter time, the most ever by a Western Bulldog since the records were established. And when you consider you had a Scott West playing for many, many years, that's a pretty significant return.
So you're recommending fatherhood to all?
Fatherhood has done Matthew Boyd no negatives whatsoever. 35 possessions to three-quarter time, a record for the Dogs.
And he wasn't going to play tonight if he was needed at home for the birth of his new daughter.
That's the good news. He needs another 15 in the next 20 minutes.
Griffin came hard. Hill. Liberatore. Hill. Griffin. Now Cooney needs to go. He's got 3 to beat here. Floating ball.
Yeah,
and Cooney was held off
Barry
the
Hall's
ball.
one-on-one.
Got Higgins again. Hasn't seen him.
Higgins is still there. Still there.
Come out.
And now it's too late.
Go out.
Looking for a one-out Barry Hall, and he's got 3 against.
And can't get near it, Barry Hall. Higgins bursts through, gathers it regardless, gives it to Grant, who's been unsighted till now.
Free kick there to Grant, and he runs on foot to Higgins. We just signed Cooney, sorry, but you talk about Higgins. He's now had a goal assist in this third quarter, this last quarter. Amazing play.
He just attacked the ball, didn't he?
He did, and Barry Hall's 3-on-1, what a great option. Just wanted the ball more.
That's what he wasn't doing earlier. I'm not sure whether Rocket had a direct conversation with him or not, but his impact closer to goal has been significant. Much better.
Fremantle led by 20. Lead cut back to 8. And a ton of time left in this. 13 played and about 13 and time on to go. Griffin with the clearance. Lowe was playing in front. Robertson. Sandlin's on the run. He's got the reach and the mark. And was always going to get it on Hill. Sits it up long. McPhee, Main, they're all there. Main misread it. Van Berlo caught. Handball up. Griffin sinks the slipper in. It'll bounce out. And that's a win for the Dogs. They can reset. Dogs have won the last 6 against Fremantle.
Well, the mental pressure's on the Freo now. They look like they had the game.
He's thrown the wild card here, Danny, though. Brian Lake's gone to full forward. Barry Hall up the ground.
I like it.
Flick back to Mundy, played for the high free, thought he deserved it. Crowd certainly did. Wallace, another handball. Markovic caught, dragged down. Van Berlo gives it up. Pavlich, Robertson, stand start from 50, drives it long, but it misses.
We can see why Chris Main is the #1 defensive forward in the game right now. He just assaulted that player. Got enormous speed and tackles with intent.
Straight down the middle to Hudson. Dangerous, but it comes off. Into a one-on-one with Pavlich in it. Hudson floats one. Higgins, well read.
Good matchup too with Johnson.
They've got to spark back the Dogs. Murphy sits it up for Sherman. In there to go. Hill backs back with the flight.
He's laid off the kick a little bit there, Robert Murphy, unfortunately.
Fife is the loose man. McPhee's calling for it long. He's shut down. Dogs are getting back now.
It cost them that one. It had a bit of outswing on it.
Here's your main man. 65 from goal.
Hudson's dropped back in the hole for the Bulldogs.
McPhee short. Heads for Crowley, and the fist from Gilby out of play.
Susie read that well, Gilby. Did it really well.
Sandlin's just having a spell. A couple of minutes. That's why we've got Bradley v Hudson at this boundary throw-in.
Well, he's at a distinct disadvantage, Danny, because oxygen a little bit rarer at the height he's breathing it out.
Hudson flicked down. Boyd, yet another clearance. Pavlich rolls into that. Is caught. Is dragging it in and just gets it out in time. It's shuffled through legs. Hudson, not sure what to do. Not a bad option that. Griffin, Higgins, tucked against the line. Barry Hall's going to have to go here. Ibbotson comes at him. Bit overzealous, Pickin, got away with it. Barry Hall has a tackle, missed him. Pavlich backed into that one. Dogs have the spare man now. Griffin looks up, pumps it longer. Brian Lake, one-on-one. Johnson, Lake, bouncing ball that doesn't stay in.
I really like this from Rodney Eade. The tackling's really intensified this quarter. Look at Sherman there and Griffin. I like the move of Lake forward.
Last time these two teams met, Lake kicked 3 goals in the 12-goal win by the Dogs. But he started forward that night. He's gone there late again this time. Palmer drags it in. They all dive in. Shuffled out. Mundy. Bradley back towards Mundy. Grant tunnels it through legs. McFarlane took on Liberatore. Extracted a kick, but to Hudson.
Here's Murphy.
Running Murphy. Dumps it long, but not the direction he was after. Grover left it behind. Johnson slaps it out. Ward been impeccable all night. Missed it here. Pitt dragged down. Handball McPhee lending a hand in defence. Shorts it wide. Van Berlo. Morris corrals him. Clever. Only half a handball in the Pitt direction. He's over it. Shuffled out to Markovic. Hands it up to Liberatore. Floats one long. Getting back Ibbotson with the flight. Sherman, known goal kicker, outside of the foot. Brilliant.
Oh, she's a big game, this one, Danny. This is a ripping game. The Bulldogs have shown enormous courage to come back from seemingly dead and buried. They took a bit of time to get the cavalry over there, but I'm not sure who was a single man out there, but he did an enormous job for the Bulldogs until Libba got over there, and that was just fantastic play by Justin Sherman, who's having a big night.
And also Lake has had an impact. They've gone long to Lake. He looks dangerous down there. They've crumbed off him, but resultant goal.
Fremantle started the quarter with 3 goals in a row. The Dogs have kicked the last 3.
Hudson's been particularly good just filling in the gap. He's got to change if he needs it roughhead. He's probably going to need a spell for 2 minutes.
And he's put Sandlin's back on Mark Harvey. You saw him on the bench there before. He said enough's enough.
3 points the margin. Hudson. Now the Dogs are inspired.
Grant's got to go here.
Roughhead and Grant. Grant protected by Roughhead. Takes the mark. Bangs it forward.
Well done.
Higgins. And he can give them the lead.
What a quarter. 8 disposals, 3 contested possessions.
You could hear a pin drop. Stunned silence. 37,000 plus.
Well, he just caressed the last one from a similar position. Probably 10 metres closer, but it would have travelled 15 metres through, so he doesn't have to try and overkick this one.
It's a massive kick. If he looks at the scoreboard, he can see we're about to tick into time on. Final term of a critical game. Strikes it nicely. Doesn't find the big gap. And now the roar starts to ring around Patersons Stadium again. De Boer.
Just got it out too easily at times. Got to press up now, the Dogs. They've got it there where they want it. Got to keep it there.
Duffield. 2 points the margin. They led by 20 earlier in this term, Fremantle. Sandlin's with the reach. Hudson does well. Causes a contest. Dives in. Trouble. Murphy tried to knock it back under him. Cross. Sandlin stole it. Gave it to Pitt. Dumps it towards Bradley. He was the star earlier. Markovic superb there. Wallace, game 1. Tried something there. It didn't quite come off. Pavlich dragged down by Boyd, who's doing it all. Back to Wallace, who does brilliantly.
All the way.
Cooney. Griffin's the target. In a one-on-one. Griffin can't get near it. Well played, Duffield.
He's looking at the umpire. You're right, Griffin there's looking at the umpire. He thought he was held in that marking situation with Duffield.
Well, got the advantage here. The big man Sandlands. He's got the height. He's up against a youngster. in Roughhead. Will it count?
Big ball in. Roughhead does get a palm on it, knocks it down. Sherman, this will roll, and it rolls across the face. And they get ever closer. It's a 1-point game. 21 minutes gone, final term. The Bulldogs side not as compressed as some.
No, they're not. They've still got 3 or 4 defenders on the left of the screen, which we can't see, but at least everyone else is pushing up, forcing Freo to make a clean possession.
That essentially allowed Fife that space there.
Yep.
They've actually got a spare man in McPhee.
And here it comes. Sandlands. McPhee doesn't come over the top, stays down, can't gather the crumb. Wallace is on McPhee, playing out of a back flank now. Big task in game 1. It's been tight, it's been tough. It's been an intoxicating contest. It's been ugly at times, but it's always been watchable. Kearney hacks inside 50. Barry Hall gets back. McFarlane behind would tie it. Plenty of time left though. Scores a level. And another murmur rings around Patersons Stadium. Fife, the release kick.
Just a bit easy.
Inside 7 minutes now.
The Sandilands long down the line will be the option here.
McPhee's at the back, dangerous.
He's up, McPhee. They got hands on it. Cross. And he'll see it to the line.
Well, this time they're in the hands of the youngster. Hudson off for a couple of seconds, so it's Roughhead up against Sandilands. Can he lob it on somebody's chest?
Game number 11 for Jordan Roughhead up against the superstar Aaron Sandlands in game 161. McPhee extracts a handball. Hill attacked it hard. Morris wrapped him up. It's too high.
Great courage down the cross.
Should have got the free kick for mine.
Boyd.
Throw.
1-on-1. Sherman, Ibbotson, Sherman. Johnson.
Did well to get over and make the 2 against the 1.
Barry Hall didn't come hard enough. Now it comes hard, but it's too late. Fremantle's ball. Ibbotson wide. McFarlane. Reece Palmer. It was over his head. Horrendous kick. Boyd.
This will be 42 for Boyd now, Dwayne.
An all-time record for the Dogs. Gilby. Kearney made it tough for Kearney. And he makes it tough for everybody up forward.
Oh, that was a dumb kick.
Robertson gets back and he spills it. The kick works. Higgins breaks free. Gives to Liberatore. Shorts it. Grant.
Mark kick for a kid.
Yeah, that's a better kick. I was a bit critical of Kearney.
And rightly so. I mean, it was an inexperienced kick. It was the kick of a first gamer, not the kick of a bloke who's at the top of his trade.
And Robertson's dropped a couple of marks deep in defence in this game.
He'll be a little nervous, Jarrett Grant. He knows this is for the lead with 24 minutes on the clock. Final term from just inside 50. Nerves of steel. They lead by a goal.
Well, this is just an enormous effort by the Western Bulldogs. They're not home yet, but they have come from a deficit of 20 points down, with Mundy just executing the ball at will, it seems, from the centre. They have willed themselves back in, and this is a vital, vital mark. Robertson put it to ground. He'll learn from that. It's a tough learning experience, but they just have to be held if they're going to go on and become the top 4 to 6 side.
2 final term goals for Jarrett Grant after he was a little iffy in the opening half.
I like the poise of Liberatore.
Well, the Dockers at the left, it's got to be Pavlich and Mundy out of the centre, but they're being beaten badly now.
Cross, Higgins and Boyd. Surprise, surprise, Kearney. They are shell-shocked, the Dockers.
Well, the last few centre appearances have all been the Bulldogs.
And Kearney can go back, take as much time as he likes until he gets the call from the umpire to go. Take some seconds off the clock.
This, no doubt, is what Rocket had in mind earlier in the piece when he started Kearney out of the goal square.
20 seconds
and Mitch Wallace in the centre, but clearances didn't work. This time it has.
He got the 22nd call. Directly out. Should be kicked by a man of his stature. Long kick. Drifts. Behind.
Not a bad point though, Dwayne.
Mark Harvey on the boundary. Takes a breath. Plenty of time left. 4 minutes. 7 points the margin. 37,551 on the edge of their seats. Sandlands goes. Cross knocks it down. Cooney, Higgins, sidestep. And he blazes away.
Well, the Western Bulldogs were absolutely aware of what was trying to happen there. Sandlands. The kick just wasn't long enough, to be honest. Sandlands was desperately trying to bang it over the back, but they had it all covered and did a really good job defending it.
McFarlane. And time becoming their enemy as well right now, Fremantle. Sandland's the target. Hudson's done a good job. Allows Roughhead third man up. Huge spoil. Almost worth a kick. Mundy tackled as he got it. Diving in Liberatore, who's been good in this last term. Comes up to Gilby, who got it inside 50. Bang back out again. Off some hands. Roughhead. Gilby again. Wobbles it inside 50. Hall. Grant takes them on. Hands it back. Miss stack. Goes back. Gets it. 50 from goal. Hassled off it. Fremantle with the loose men now. They need to continue possession footy. Palmer looks up. He's got Lower or Ballantyne.
Nick Lower.
Lower will do. Ballantyne calling for it. The handball's on. The kick's on. Ballantyne rolls toward goal. Bradley, don't tell me. He keeps it in. Dives, kicks, goals. They made hard work of it. It's a 1-point game.
I'll tell you what, he did a darn good job there, Bradley, keeping that in. That was a very difficult ball to control. Thought Nick Lower was trying to do the right thing, and in the end, he nearly did everything wrong.
Well, he's done well there, Bradley, just to keep the ball alive.
Shit.
And then the awareness to know that the Bulldogs player had the awareness on. We'll just have another look.
It's a tough bouncing ball.
Put a quad as he got the ball smothered there. Well done. Well, Mr. Cooney goes straight down the other end with interest.
4 goals for Kepler Bradley. Hearts in mouths. 2 minutes 47 left.
Been a fair round, the Easter Anzac round.
Enthralling, close encounters.
Crowd in full voice. Dogs by a point. Hudson dives in. Through legs. Cross.
There's not much science at the moment. It's man on man all over the ground. No sweepers.
It's player driven now at this stage of the game, Jared.
This is where you get your disciplines right, boys. No mistakes here.
Sandlands with a slap down. Duffy had tried to steal it. Cooney does. Caught. Hill wraps him up. Umpire Jacob Mollison equal to the occasion there.
Barry Hall coming off. Grant on. He's not right. Glenn Jakovich, Barry Hall on the bench.
Oh, he's just struggling. He's just stretching out with that hamstring of his, so he's having a rest now.
Mundy almost stole it. Pavlich went off the ground. Cross. Roughhead. Johnson.
Tries to hold his feet, chip Roughhead.
Big fist from Johnson. He kept his feet and he goes. He's got Palmer out wide. Goes longer. Hill inside 50. Bradley waiting at the back. Markovic, huge kill.
Oh, that was magnificent because he played in front of Bradley. But then, Jared, you've still got to have the courage to come off your man and spike the ball. Have a look at that. Oh, that was magnificent.
If he had missed it, boys, there was 3 blokes behind the ball there.
Got himself in. Well done.
Sandlands, the flick to the back. Morris was waiting for it. No prior opportunity. Pavlich drags him down. Huge pack around this ball. 30 players around it. Pitt, the sub! And scores a level. We've already had 3 draws this year.
Oh, the crowd.
How's footy going, by the way?
Oh, it's magnificent.
You know Murphy plays on here. Gets as much space as he can. Gets it out of there.
Well, the ruckman needs to get to the boundary line.
Murphy with the bump. Shepherd And the kick, maybe it stays in, maybe it doesn't. It's out of the full.
Well, Lake's got to get down in defence now.
Grover.
Sandilands.
Time is of the essence. Big fly, huge leap. Wallace, huge thump down. To Boyd, it'll be coming back. Mundy, maybe just beyond his range.
He's got to go along to Sandilands.
He can kick the distance.
Well, he knows the behind will give them the lead. The scoreboard says 31 minutes gone. He sits it up, doesn't go for goal. Sandlands got a hand on it. 5 through traffic off the deck. Van Berlo could have been the hero. A behind. That might do.
And the boys are going to go along down the middle now. They can't lose their composure.
Play on.
Yeah, just go along down the middle, Murph. Send it down.
Crowd are going crazy. Mundy from behind. Big fist forward. Ballantyne unsighted all night. And he kicks out in the full. The worst of all possible options.
And Matty Boyd's had a terrific game. 45 disposals.
Somehow got to get it to the other side of the ground. They won't, you wouldn't think, get through this mess.
High kick, Roughhead tried the fist on.
They did.
Griffin, Higgins, caught by Duffield. Brilliant tackle. Somehow extracts a kick. This ball, win it now. Fremantle win the game. Johnson back. De Boer down to 30 seconds. Half forward.
Look at this.
Time would win it for them. They don't even need a goal. Fife knocks it inside 50. Lower. Runs. Left foot. Drives it long. Sparkling game. One of the games of the year.
Beautifully called one. Absolutely outstanding. Numbers to the ball. It's a game of inches AFL football. And you just see the composure there lower. Started on the bench. And Matthew Pavich is saying, just have a look at this passage of play again. Just numbers forward. The Bullies had to roll the dice as well. They were behind. They knew that. And on the turnover, they had the extra numbers on the way back. And now you'll see that 3 players get behind the ball.
Big roar of Freo rings around Patersons Stadium. The Dogs had won the last 6 coming in against Fremantle. There's a monkey off Fremantle's back big time. Sandlands in the middle. Just to see out the seconds now. The Dogs know they've given this one up. Griffin, a wobbler inside 50. Off some hands. Pitt. Kick around the body. The siren sounds and the roar tells the story. Anzac Day and AFL combine again to make everyone a winner. And Fremantle showed the guts and determination to fight from behind late in this contest to prove, yep, they're a contender.